The madman who made a difference in Lagos. If you're thinking insanity, you are wrong. If you're imagining a misfit, you're making a mistake. This is a story of a charismatic leader whose wits and ways have achieved remarkable and monumental results in Lagos State. A man who eradicated excuses, laziness, and mediocrity with unwavering resolve. Who is this extraordinary figure? Allow us to introduce Engineer Olalekan Nurudeen Shodeinde.
I like challenges. And I dare to be different. Some people call me a madman. I call myself a madman. I'm not a mad insane person, but I make a difference. Mad make a difference. I'm not comfortable when I get somewhere and I see you doing something. Is that how you're doing it? Let's continue doing it. No, I'm not comfortable. Even if you're doing this very good, very successful, I'll always go how we can make it better.
Some people watch things happen. Some people wonder how things happen, while some people make things happen. We have a man that makes things happen in Engineer Olalekan Nurudeen Shodeinde. If the Lagos environment could talk or sing, maybe we would hear the accolades and songs of praise of Engineer Shodeinde's contribution to their design, management, and maintenance. Shodeinde surely makes things happen.
He had a great input into the drainage master plan of the state, which set the roadmap or the blueprint for what is eventually is to happen and is still happening in the state today. So there's no way that you can tell the history of the flooding in the state without reference to his own name too. Of course, he too will be able to occupy some chapters in that book.
When it comes to this job and it comes to Lagos topography, drainage, and all sorts, you see a touch of his experience.
Engineer Shodeinde's contribution to the solution of addressing perennial flooding in Lagos State cannot be overemphasized.
The pumping station at Ilubiri is massive, is unique, and now that it's ready for commissioning, you can't write the story of how we seek to end the perennial flooding of Lagos Island without engraving Shodeinde's name in platinum. And this is not flattering him. This is speaking to what he had done. That was why I said earlier, his footprints and the things that designed and agreed to do are some of the things we are still working on in the ministry. So that pumping station is unique. It's one of the type. It's the first of its type in Africa, and it will go a long way to solve a major perennial problem.
Still on the innovative solution to flooding on Lagos Island, Engineer Ajadi has this to say on the largest pumping station in Africa, whose architect is Engineer Shodeinde.
There has never been that kind of a project in Africa. It's the biggest. There are small, petty pumping stations, but this one is the biggest. And he was the PS. He is the architect of that project. You understand? So we supported it. Mr. Governor buy into the idea.
The works of performers not only speak, but spill volume.
Wastewater plants that we had in Lagos, in Ikmori, in Abeson, and several other places, and so on, were moribund. So it was now the task of the coordinator, who happens to be Olalekan Shodeinde, to revive all those wastewater plants and so on. And he did well. He rehabilitated many of them. And was so impressed. Everybody was impressed.
Many lives were touched. Quality projects delivered under the supervision and contribution of a seasoned engineer, Engineer Olalekan Shodeinde.
Aburu River, which we did. It crossed across about 7 local governments. It was a big project. And the people who are given the projects, you can trust Engineer Shodeinde. He really taxed them. He kept asking questions. He kept monitoring. And so I remember the day we were launching, he gave a promise. He said, I want to assure you that this project will never relax. We will never relax on this. Sorry, we will never relax on this project. And we will make sure that the project was done. And it was interesting that the people actually performed and they did well. And it was given to Engineer Shodeinde. He never gave up on them. He kept tasking them. He kept monitoring them until they were able to finish the job.
Honorable Sheson Olarewaju, former Special Advisor on Environment, affirms the unparalleled expertise of this solution-driven engineer.
If you can recollect, if you are going to Dovin Estate, there's always a pond in front of at the main entrance of the gate. The two engineers were able to solve the problem. That is how I got interested in Engineer Shodeinde.
Beyond his transformative work in drainage and wastewater management, Engineer Shodeinde's strategic vision extended to diverse areas of infrastructure development. A prime example is the relocation of the sawmillers. As permanent secretary, he spearheaded the final phase of this ambitious project, successfully relocating the sawmillers from Okobaba to Agbowa, a milestone in urban planning.
Not to take anything away from the previous permanent secretaries, everybody did his or her best to see the coming alive of this project. However, I won't fail to mention here that one of such farm sets actually impacted a lot on the project, and that farm set was the person of Engineer Nurudeen Shodeinde. He came on board, I think, January 2024, last year. And his first visit his operational visit, his first visit to this site was sometime in April 2024. I must say that the outcome of that first visit left me speechless, because I saw in him somebody who actually wanted things to work, who actually was committed to the operationalization of this project. And he gave he didn't put down any effort to ensure that this thing comes to fruition, by way of ensuring that funds are released to the contractors to enable him to do his work, by way of coming to terms or the agreements where there are disputes between the sawmillers and the contractor. He made sure that everybody worked as a team to facilitate the completion of this project and make it operational.
Even the sawmillers themselves witnessed a leader defined by action and steadfast commitment.
It's a natural man. He doesn't believe in other things than achievement, goal. He has a targeted goal and he has a timeline for all his targeted goals. And he always meet up the goals.
Behind every great leader are mentors whose guidance lights the paths to excellence. One such mentor is Engineer Hakeem Ogunbambi, former permanent secretary of the Office of the Environmental Services. Let's hear his reflections on Engineer Shodeinde's journey.
What stood Shodeinde out was the fact that I discovered the boldness and the ability and the interest in picking something fast. I decided to create a unit called Monitoring and Evaluation Unit. So I put him as the head there. The job there is just to interrogate what everybody is doing in my department there, what everybody is doing. And you should come up with reports. So putting Shodeinde there just made my job very, very simple. Out of all the engineers from local government, I think he was the best amongst them. Quick to learn. He never put himself as level 15 officer above all these guys. He went down, he stooped so low. So that's the beauty of Shodeinde. He was a go-getter. And anything he wanted, he will run for it and manage. I think I've said it. His ability to introduce innovation. So I remember when he was in Laswamo, he brought in innovation about using pumps, some special pumps. So for Shodeinde, he wants the best. I think Nigeria is not ready for him anyway. Maybe if he comes in another generation, maybe Nigeria will be ready for him to begin to impact his special innovation.
So I met Engineer Shodeinde officially, maybe 2016 or 17. He became my director in project monitoring and evaluation and training department of the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure at the time. So he was my director for about 2 years, up until 2019. And in 2019, Engineer Shodeinde was promoted. I think he was promoted first to coordinator or something, and then to PAMSEC. And he was asked who he thought could take over the agency, Lagos State Building Control Agency. And in fact, to my amazement, Engineer Shodeinde said that he could not think about anyone else but Engineer Koshegbe. It's very rare to find someone that will actually speak out for you. So I would say that aside from God, Engineer Shodeinde has been instrumental in my life.
Engineer Shodeinde embodies the power of first principles, a disciplined approach that has shaped his illustrious career.
My call as an engineer is to design solution from first principle.
Very nice attitude. He goes back, he takes it from first principle, and he calls you, please come over. This can be this. And we have a chat, we look at it, we go back to site. He affirms what he's going to sign off on. How thorough he is cannot be overemphasized. He says what, he feels. He allows you to express yourself, and then he's always open to a journey to site.
Engineer Shodeinde is a thoroughbred, highly cerebral professional, a true pride of the engineering profession and civil service. Hear what voices from diverse cadres share about his lasting impact.
He's intelligent, he's smart, but definitely not arrogant.
And the wealth of experience he had then was unbelievable. If you talk about drainage works, unbelievable. Civil works, unbelievable. Bridge works, unbelievable. He was a big inspiration to people like me.
Shodeinde ni mo ràn. Shodeinde mi ò mọ bẹ́ẹ̀ òyìnbó ṣe ń sọ ẹni tó ní principle ni.
My first encounter with him, I see him as a highly principled man, a professional to the core. Actually, we met before he was brought to Office of Urban Development as the permanent secretary. We met at the PMD, Organized by the Ministry of Works. And I really admired his contributions there.
Yeah, I remember that day. I remember that. Yes.
You were as a PMD too.
He was the only one that saw the situation from another angle
Entire
that
thread.
turned the whole table around for those people. Because if he wasn't around that day, I think something else would have happened to all the staffs. Oh yes, all the engineers that were called for PLA.
And actually protected the interests of engineers at that PMB. Let me just tell you my experience with him. Engineer Shodeinde is a very detailed person, like my ogas have said. Very detailed. If he wants you to do something, you must know that you have the solution before you are going to meet with him. The recommendation, what's to be done. And it has to align with the course of the profession. Is a detailed professional, very detailed.
Engineer Shodeinde, in most cases, in the past, is being interviewed by the radio station, television station on issues related to his profession, that is engineering aspect. And if you critically look or listen to that conversation, you know that it's somebody that knows what he's doing.
Something that looked like it was unacceptable to me. I decided to bring it up with Engineer Shodeinde, and I respect him, for one thing. When someone knows that something, is wrong, Engineer Shodeinde does not shy away from, saying, the word sorry.
Things outside the box as well.
So the leather hub, the technical aspect of it was able to help us put a lot of things right, even to checkmate the engineer and to put things right so that the state can be protected, the funds of the government can be protected, and all. And its influence has really been impactful. I must commend his effort.
If you want results, Shodeinde is your go-to person, whether in administration or on the field. Olalekan Shodeinde delivers with purpose and precision.
So, Shodeinde was in Ministry of Environment. Then, we now give me this task of separating Ministry of Physical Planning into Office of Physical Planning and Office of Urban Development. So, we successfully did that. We now had to identify who will be the pioneer permanent secretary that will go there and set everything up and make it smooth. And there was only one choice. Straight. Shodi, I need you for an assignment. Very, very important assignment. Said, what is it, sir? I said, we're setting up a new office. So I need you to go there because you're an engineer, one, you're very tenacious and diligent and intelligent. I need you to go there and set everything up. And I want you to hit the ground running immediately. So he was the first person that just came to my mind immediately. And that's how we moved him from environment to Office of Urban Development to start it from scratch. And the office is doing fantastically well.
The adage reminds us that all work and no play dulls the spirit. But Engineer Shodeinde proves that brilliance and vitality go hand in hand. A sharp mind paired with physical fitness, he exemplifies balance and discipline.
Me, a choice. I don't have a choice. I must go gym every day. No, I don't joke with it though.
The fine guy, I had not like us that we have tummy that we tummy is bigger. It's fit.
Yes.
It's fit to the pulse. And even I be taking good care of
I mean, he looks so fit and he is so fit. You won't believe that he's going to be 60, So that just shows you that, he also takes care of himself. It's not just about knowing what to do. Not just about work. He knows how to take care of himself very well.
Faith is the cornerstone of a man's beliefs. And for Engineer Nurudeen Shodeinde, it is a guiding light. Deeply religious, his spirituality shapes his character and legacy.
He's very prayerful.
Yes.
He's very religious as well. Man, I find him. He's very religious. I remember I always attend his Ramadan lectures.
And that's spiritual side of him. Guy, love who don't know.
He's a very religious human being. A large extent, he serves God and worship God.
Let us now hear from a spiritual leader whose words illuminate Engineer Shodeinde's profound faith.
Looking at where he's coming from, you can see a tremendous moral and spiritual improvement in his attitude to life, in his approach to everything, in his level of relationship with fellow human beings. He has transformed tremendously. He has not allowed his background to go into his head. He also always sees things with the focus or lens of the Holy Quran. He does things not to please himself again, but to please his fellow human beings. He wants to make others happy, comfortable, well-to-do, before he thinks of himself. He's not self-centered. He's not egocentric. He's not honestly pompous. naturally is a very cerebral person. When it comes to knowledge and understanding and wisdom, he is gifted. But despite that, he still has a listening ear.
As a floodgate of goodwill messages, advice, and prayers pour forth, one question lingers. Can engineer Olalekan Nurudeen Shodeinde contain this overwhelming tide of love and admiration?
We all entirely wish him long life, good health, and to enjoy his retirement with good health and lot of fun. Kudos to you. Kudos to your doggedness. Kudos to your belief that nothing is impossible.
To be honest, I wish him good health.
So I wish him a successful. I wish him successful days in his retirement. May God keep his life longer, and he's today is better than his yesterday.
I pray because it's only God that can give and can take. I pray that God will continue to be with him and his family and all other engineers that are on ground.
So I pray that wherever after his retirement, you continue to grow to a higher level than where he is, and God will continue to be with him and his family.
I pray that he's retiring, but he's not going to be tired. We are all going to meet, we'll be consulting, we're going to be consultants, we're going to work as engineers. No engineers, we're always working. So I pray for him and I wish him all the best in all his endeavors after retirement.
Engineer Olalekan Shodeinde, you are retiring. You will not retire to penury. You will not retire to pay.
Most important thing is that God continue to bestow him with good health, which is the most important thing in this affair, and long life, to be able not only to enjoy his retirement, but also to continuously impact on humanity generally.
On and off the record, the accolades for Engineer Shodeinde will undoubtedly continue to flow. Yet, one question remains. What lies ahead for this extraordinary leader? What's next?
What next for me? My creator knows what is next. I don't.
While engineer Olalekan Nurudeen entrusts his future to his creator, let's hear what others envision for his next chapter.
After this retirement, we always call you for consultancy. We always call you for advice. We always, because your experience is compared to none, because you are so vast in everything that concerns engineering. I'm giving you all the support of my prayers to see you succeed after this retirement.
I still believe there are still opportunities that this state can still offer him. And I know he's always willing and ready to serve. Thank you very much, Engineer, and have a wonderful retirement.
Somebody like Engineer Shodeinde at the federal level, for us to be able to for enhancement of the work at the federal level, for us to be able to battle the effect of climate change and also the effect of flooding across Nigeria.
To a thoroughbred professional whose career in the civil service has been nothing short of exemplary, may your contributions and legacy endure for generations to come. Ladies and gentlemen, let us rise and honor a charismatic, cerebral, and innovative engineer, a true pioneer of our time, Engineer Olalekan Nurudeen Shodeinde. Congratulations on your well-earned retirement from the Lagos State Civil Service.